Next up is Gremln. And Ryan, you're one of the founders of Gremln.
I am.
Gremln. And Gremln, if you have a social media presence, then Gremln helps you monitor and manage it. So tell us, how are things in St. Louis?
Sure. St. Louis is actually a growing startup community. It's really exciting. We recently went through a accelerator program, kind of like Y Combinator and Techstars, called Capital Innovators. There's a lot of funding coming to help tech startups get started in St. Louis, which is notoriously something specifically geared towards a place geared towards biotech. You know, Monsanto's based there, a lot of bioengineering companies. Right. So when Gremln could put together and say, hey, we've got this great idea for businesses for software, we got a lot of people going, well, we don't do software. But it's a rapidly growing environment, a lot of money flowing into the space, a lot of exciting companies. Gremlin's one of them. And we have received our funding to date and to build out our product. And we are kind of an example of what can come through St. Louis. And there's a lot of companies of note that are starting to come out of St. Louis. Group companies like Locker Dome and Aisle 411, and then Gremln as well. We were all graduates of the program from the very beginning through the accelerator all the way to searching for funding outside of the area. So.
Good. Well, so yeah, speaking of money flowing through St. Louis, I was in St. Louis last spring, and there was also water flowing through St. Louis because the Mississippi was
yes. So
overflowing.
That's always an issue. We are located downtown, though, but the levee's pretty strong. We're good. Yeah,
no, I went to the top of the arch. If you haven't been to the top of the arch, it's a miraculous experience, actually. It looks kind of like it's just a tourist thing, but the arch in St. Louis is beautiful, as is the rest of the town.
Exactly. I think we did a fantastic job of filling in. Hopefully you're all still awake. Thank you.
All right, and now.
All right, yes. And during that process, thank you.
You were good, Bill.
Thank you so much for the patience. I'm Ryan Bell. I'm with Gremln.com. We make professional social media tools for businesses that want to market products and build communities in sites like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+. Now, an interesting fact is that in 2011, for some demographics, more time was spent in social media than in television, and that is profound. Businesses are taking note, and they're shifting their marketing dollars from traditional forms of media over to social media. You're all aware of this. You see this on a daily basis. Now, something happens when you go from posting pictures of your kids on Facebook to using social media for business. 3 things businesses realize. Social media is not easy. Involvement is essential, and it's not free. So what I'm going to talk to you about today are some of the problems that small businesses in particular are running into when dealing with social media, and why Gremln is exactly the product they're looking for to solve their problems. These problems include time management, getting organized, monitoring the conversation of what's being said about their products and brands in social media, determining the sentiment of that conversation, and making sure that they're getting a return on their investment. Now, how do we save time? At Gremln, we do that with our integrated dashboard. Companies are finding themselves having to log into Facebook, then Twitter, then LinkedIn, then Google+, to try and have a cohesive message and manage a campaign through multiple interfaces. With Gremln, we allow you to put those all into one dashboard. Easy to use, multiple social networks, search streams, blog searches, all in one location. Now, staying organized. With Gremln, we enable you to use our office-style calendar interface and the most flexible scheduling tools out of any software package in the space. Set your campaigns up. Let us handle the sending of those. Still interact with your customers, though, because this is social media. Now, how do you monitor what people are saying about your brand? You can't be everywhere at the same time. We do this through our internal proprietary sentiment analysis algorithm that we've written. It's AI-based, machine learning. It parses publicly available text for positivity and negativity, and we notify you when spikes of negativity happen so you can react quickly. Tell your customers you're sorry if they're having a bad experience. Send them a coupon that only they can use. How do you measure success? Well, Gremln has an integrated analytics system that enables you to generate reports both on click tracking, your activity and your growth in social media, and also how many sales you're making from social media. The elusive ROI, we help you find that. Here's an example of our Brevis link clicking statistics. Brevis is Latin for short. It's our internal system for tracking link clicks and finding out where people are located. Here's an example of a report that you can generate, export it as a PDF. We help you justify social media as you show the impact that social media has on your bottom line. And here's our sentiment analysis dashboard that's a quick snapshot of how well you're doing in the various social networks. How do you determine ROI? Businesses struggle with this all of the time. We've solved it here at Gremlin. You do it by following the tweet to the sale. And what we do with that is we enable you to not only know you had 75 clicks on a link, but you got 37 sales. Well, which one of those sales came from social media? Well, we help you track that down. Once that person hits your target page, like your thank you page, we log that. We help you learn that actually 22 of those sales of the 37 came specifically from your Twitter and Facebook campaigns. Corporate control, from trying to keep your employees from putting their foot in their mouth to trying to make sure you stay compliant with FINRA, SEC, FTC, FDA, HIPAA, all kinds of compliance rules and organizations. Gremlin wraps your social media interaction in a safe way to help you prevent your employees from making violations. And we do it smartly and simply as well. You can upload as many keywords and phrases you'd like to block. If somebody talks negatively and mentions your company name, we tell them they probably shouldn't do that. And we also do some intelligent analysis, such as determining if somebody is doing a stock tip, if they're in the financial services industry. We apply some of our natural language processing knowledge to parsing it intelligently. Agencies we see not as competition, but as our partners. Small businesses of all sizes go to marketing agencies for help in social media. We allow them to skin our system, market it as their own product, and sell it to their customers at whatever price they choose. We see them as somebody that helps us grow. Also, it works wonderfully for tiered business models and franchises if you want to integrate it directly into your intranet. Here's what we've done for State Farm to enable their agents to use the system internally, and it looks just like it's part of the intranet. How are we different from the competition in this space? I'm sure you're all in here going, it's been there, done that. How is Gremlin different? Our compliance enforcement combined with our sentiment analysis and our white label service. We are built from the ground up for small businesses and priced for them. We scale nicely for agencies, and we're franchise friendly. We make money by selling to businesses in a software as a service model. We have a free version all the way up to a $2,000 a month version, and this is a $3.1 billion market. There is plenty of space in this market for companies like us, especially ones that are honing in on customers in a narrow space. We have 120,000 users. As I mentioned a minute ago, we're a graduate of an accelerator program here locally. I'm happy to mention we recently sold one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world using us for their global interactions. It's because we can keep them compliant. Our growth projections see us in our first 12 months of having $4 million in revenue, and we hope to reach 650,000 users by year 3, which we project will get us $28 million in revenue. Some examples of exits. Radian 6, you're all aware, was purchased for over $300 million recently. Our largest competitor recently had a private offering at $200 million. Some awards and recognitions we've received. PC World Magazine called us one of the 5 top business tools for Twitter. Read, Write, Web, and Forbes recently said we had a better product than the industry leader. I thank you for your time. Here's a picture of our team. Please stop by later and see us at the booth. I'll be happy to tell you more. Thank you.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So, questions?
So the first one is on the, congratulations, you moved so far, but on the revenue number, you had $4.2 million this year. How far along are you on that path?
Well, we're at the launch event, so one of the reasons it makes us a candidate for the launch event is the fact that when people ask me, when did you launch? Well, there's 4 answers, and the one that I care about is the one when we started charging people to pay for our service. And so that one recently happened in the middle of April. So we launched our product to be paid for in the middle of April. We've got good traction. The revenue numbers are just getting up and running, and one of the reasons why we're out here is we built our product, and we're starting to sell it. So that's the stage that we're in. So
okay, but it's like you're competing against the Hootsuites and the
we're
other
taking them on
big-
head on, yeah.
And what's the differentiation between you and them?
Sure. We got a lot of comparable features that are familiar to you if you've used Hootsuite. Basically, we have their feature set. In addition to that, we have our compliance management, our white label. But one interesting thing about Hootsuite is they have a low-end plan, and they go straight to enterprise. I mean, they could always fill that in, but we see a giant donut hole in the pricing points. We're providing enterprise-level features at prices around the $49 and $59 a month plans, whereas you don't get that with Hootsuite till you reach the $1,500 level. So,
certainly a big market.
Yes.
And small business, at least you're targeting, an area that's relatively unpenetrated so far.
Right.
How do you expect to get to those customers? Everybody sees it as a big market, very hard to get to, very hard to get their attention and get them to try something and use it. What's your distribution strategy around that?
Sure. Well, there's a couple of things. One, we've got 120,000 users to this point with no marketing whatsoever, all word of mouth. So whether it's the design, the interface, or the functionality, or the pricing, we're monitoring that to determine how those people have gotten to us. We can't count on that type of growth to continue, though we hope it does. With respect to actually marketing to those customers, we're implementing a series of marketing campaigns dedicated to targeting specific areas, your traditional online advertising, your social media advertising. We eat our own dog food. We use Gremlin to actually market our product to the masses. We have a direct sales team that's dedicated for the purpose of selling to the enterprise level, the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical companies, and on the small business side, we do have a small sales team dedicated to it, but it's specifically an electronic ad campaign at this moment, sponsoring events, reaching out where small businesses are reading to get them to recognize our brand and to see that it's a product that can help them out. So.
And how many of those were paying customers out of the 120?
Of the 120,000 are paying customers, we have about 5 weeks of asking people to pay, and we've closed out our trials. That's a tough one offhand. I would say we're in the thousands. We're not in the tens of thousands yet, but we've just got going. So just got started.
So so basically your key differentiation sounds like price, can vary when the competitor raises $200 million and has on the free money. So it's going to be the compliance part. How is it work? Is that unique, or is it just keyword matching? Or
there are companies in the space that actually have a compliance tool. Now, combined with making sure that your employees don't post something inappropriately, like we enable you to upload as many keywords and phrases as you want. You already do this for email. Let's say you have 10,000 things already set up. Upload them in one snap, and we'll go ahead and start scanning for those keywords and phrases. But where the intelligence comes in is we use our natural language processing tools to do things like we've trained our system to recognize a stock tip. So if you're in financial services and you click a post, we say, sir, this looks like a stock tip, or ma'am, this looks like a stock tip. Are you sure you want to send this? If you're in the pharmaceutical space, this looks like you're talking about the symptoms that your drug alleviates. So we also say, you just mentioned the company name in a negative way. I had a terrible day today at name your company. And we try and keep people from putting their foot in their mouth. So we've taken our knowledge of natural language processing and we've applied it to the ability to filter communications into social media, and to close the loop, we store and archive every single piece of information that comes out of your system. So we make sure that you can be compliant with audits too. So.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Big hand for Gremlin.